keeping you safe, informed, connected. This is News Channel 5 at 6.
Stunning new allegations tonight against the Nashville Fertility Clinic, now being sued by the Tennessee Attorney General. Good evening to you. I'm Carrie Sharp.
And I'm Rory Johnston. As we have reported, the Center for Reproductive Health abruptly shut its doors last month after failing to pay its employees. Tonight, another bombshell. Consumer investigator Jennifer Krause is here with information no doubt will surprise and shock many patients.
That's right. The sudden closure of the clinic left patients with a lot of questions. What would they do about their care going forward? What would happen to their embryos that were stored at the clinic? Now, here's another one. Why did the man who treated so many of these women hold himself out to be a doctor when, believe it or not, he is not?
She's the boss of the house, clearly.
Sarah Davis and her husband share their home in Old Hickory with 5 rescue cats. They love their fur babies, but what they really long for is a real baby. How long have you been trying?
2.5 years.
And that dream to be parents is what led them to the Center for Reproductive Health last fall. Until just recently, the Midtown Fertility Clinic boasted of being an innovator in IVF, infertility treatment and genetic testing, and that it had helped thousands of patients worldwide realize their dreams of starting a family. It was founded in 1995 by Dr. Jaime Vasquez, who is still its medical director. But Davis's appointments were with someone else at the clinic. What did they tell you about Dr. Dyer?
Nothing but wonderful things.
Someone employees referred to as Dr. Dyer.
They said he was a fertility doctor.
But News Channel 5 Investigates has discovered that not only is Ferrer Dyer not a fertility doctor, but get this, he's not even a licensed medical doctor.
That's the only person I ever saw.
Davis says over the course of several months, Dr. Dyer analyzed her ultrasounds and lab work and came up with her treatment plan, including, she says, the fertility drugs she would take. But remember, in Tennessee, to treat patients, to hold yourself out as a doctor, you must be licensed by the state medical board. And again, Dyer was not. Yet he also performed procedures on Davis. How many IUIs did you have there?
2.
And who performed them?
Both of them were Dr. Dyer.
An IUI, or intrauterine insemination, is where the sperm is placed directly into a woman's uterus using a small catheter. Davis and her husband paid thousands of dollars. Neither procedure worked. Now she questions it all.
What we did not get is a medical procedure done by a medical doctor. And nothing else matters. Nothing else matters because even if it was the parts and pieces were all there, it was not done by somebody who is licensed to do that.
It turns out not only does Dyer not have a medical license, but we found degrees from the medical school he claims he graduated from in England are not recognized or accepted for licensure in either Britain or many states in the U.S., including apparently Tennessee.
And the patient is my boss.
And Dr. Vasquez apparently knew all of this. In fact, his attorney told us Dyer couldn't pass part of the foreign medical student exam.
I give them all the options.
Yet Vasquez still hired him and let him see patients. The attorney insisted, though, that Dr. Vasquez did not authorize Dyer to tell patients he was a doctor. Yet we found Ferrer Dyer was repeatedly referred to as a doctor by Vasquez's clinic and his employees. We found this post on social media where the center congratulated Dr. Dyer for 4 years at the facility. And another post wished Dr. Dyer a happy birthday.
Dr. Dyer's name is checked that he performed the IUIs.
And then there are the clinic's own forms. The ones used for both of Davis's procedures identified Dr. Dyer as the physician. And in Davis's medical records, Dyer's nurse wrote that she would touch base with Dr. Dyer on any changes to Davis's treatment that he would deem necessary.
Dr. Jaime Vasquez.
But Dyer's name is nowhere to be found on her prescriptions. Every single prescription came from Dr. Vasquez.
Everything says Jaime Vasquez, MD.
And how many times did you see Dr. Vasquez?
Never.
But Dr. Vasquez never saw you, treated you?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
The patient wants to know me, and I want to know her.
In the past, the state medical board has disciplined doctors for writing prescriptions for patients they have not seen.
The prescribing doctor on both is Jaime Vasquez, MD.
Davis says she trusted that Dyer was a doctor and knew how to help her get pregnant.
And he was like, no, this number plus this number means that you're not ovulating at all.
That is, until she decided to try another fertility clinic.
And our new doctor, she was just like, I don't know what he told you, but none of this seems correct. And she asked me his name, and I told her, and she said, okay, but he's not a reproductive endocrinologist. And I said, wait, what?
News Channel 5 Investigates has learned that a large majority of the patients who have contacted the AG's office since the clinic closed reported that they had seen Dr. Dyer and only Dr. Dyer. And Davis is sure she's not the only patient who she says was fooled.
I met a lot of people in the waiting room that were his patients, and they all loved him.
Davis hopes by helping to expose what happened that patients of Dyer's who never got pregnant and may have given up will be encouraged to try again. And in the meantime,
every single one of these women and every single one of these families who spent money with them, Vasquez and Dyer should be paying them back, 100%.
Now, we made repeated attempts to speak with both Dyer and Vasquez. Dyer originally agreed to sit down with us for an interview and then suddenly backed out.
And Jen, Vasquez had his attorney talk to you.
That's right. And yes, you know, despite all this overwhelming evidence, the attorney told us that patients should not have confused Dyer for a doctor because she claimed his white coat said fellow on it rather than doctor.
All right. The patients who are just now finding out about this, they've just got to be so upset.
I have heard from women all day as this news is starting to come out, and they are just shocked. They are stunned. They are heartbroken. They just are having a hard time getting their arms around the fact that the man that they believed was a doctor who was treating them is not a doctor.
A lot of trust involved.
They put their dreams in these people's hands.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you were a patient or even an employee of the Center for Reproductive Health, there are now several agencies that would like to hear from you. The Tennessee Attorney General's Office, the Tennessee Department of Health, and now Metro Police. They, in fact, have set up a special email address where patients can file complaints. We have links to all three of these departments on our website now with this story, and they ask that you contact not one of them, but in fact, all three of them.
Yeah.
All right, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Jen, thank you. We know you'll stay on top of it.